Hi folks, welcome to Natural Strongman YouTube channel. Myself and Steve today are just going to crack into talking about UK and Ireland.
Yep.
Then chat about World and some of the events coming up, I suppose.
Yep.
So, crack straight into results.
Yeah, so we made some predictions before it, and we both predicted it was going to be an awesome comp, and we were both right in that. But
That's about it.
other than that, you weren't right about much else, but I think I was. In fact,
You're definitely wrong about a lot of things as well.
but yeah, no, it was awesome. Really good, 6 events.
Yeah.
The athletes brought it. They really did.
It was so action-packed all weekend.
Loads of good battles and loads of big lifts as well.
Yeah,
so the max axle was class.
Yeah. The women were unbelievable on the axle.
Yeah.
It was way better than watching the men.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say you could say that across the board, but that's not true. Some of the men's was great, like the 105s in particular. I really enjoyed the battle between Elliot and Andrew for first, which was awesome. But yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, we'll start for the small women and work our way up in chronological.
Absolutely. So in the 57s, Sophie Kennerly taking the win. I think we both predicted that.
Yep.
Hannah Fitzgerald in second, 2 points off Sophie. So Sophie was on 50 points, Hannah was on 48, and there was a bit of a drop off then to 39 points in third place for Elle Nightingale.
Lizzie.
Yeah. So that's. What was it? Did Aileen get to Worlds?
Yeah.
So top 6 there?
Yeah, top 6 go to Worlds, and hopefully we'll get a few in. Obviously with the online qualifiers and with the other qualifiers elsewhere. I think the 57s is going to be the smallest class at Worlds, but I know I've seen a few people comment, and I know there's one Canadian girl who I think's doing the online qualifier, so hopefully we'll get a few in, and to not just make the numbers up, but also like to start pushing these guys and yeah.
I think we spoke about this before, and I think the 57s is always going to be probably the smaller category, because a lot of these women, if they're cutting into 57s, eventually might just get sick of it and move into the 64s. I think we've seen a lot of 64s move into the 73s recently as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was good. So Sophie and Hannah was the kind of battle that I think most people were expecting.
Yeah.
And I think both, we knew it was going to be close, but I think both of us had kind of fancied Sophie just to edge it, which she did.
Yeah.
But yeah, a great battle with the two of them all weekend, and I'm sure we'll have another great battle with the two of them come Worlds as well.
Yeah. It will be exciting to see what comes out of the woodwork from all the other countries and that. And the
Absolutely. Yeah.
I suppose it's hard for us to talk about the overall competition at Worlds because we don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
So
we could do our one when we've got to say that.
Absolutely, yeah. I suppose like the thing is as well that we have this year that we didn't have last year is we have a couple of American qualifiers yet to come.
Yep.
The Australian qualifiers done all right, but our knowledge on a lot of them athletes wouldn't be the best probably.
Yeah.
So it's going to be cool. Where are we? 64s now. This is not in the right order. 64s.
Yep.
Your lady friend.
Yep.
Hello.
Well, yeah.
Done the job.
Yeah. I predicted that as well, Matty. I think you said she would be third.
Did I say she'd be third?
Yeah.
Sorry, Willow.
Don't worry about it. I said Aisha would have been in the top 8. So
you did, yeah. She was third.
She scraped into the top 8, to be fair.
So Willow 55 points in the end. Tatiana, who I thought was really good all weekend.
Yeah, and she always is. Like, we had a couple of conversations where she was like, "Oh, you predicted me," like as if I was predicting that to do shit, but I wasn't. I thought I fancied Willow.
I thought Tatiana's overhead had let her down. No, the dumbbell is what lost her in the end. Essentially because she was ahead the whole time, but the axle was very good. I didn't think it was that good, to be honest.
Yeah, the axle was great. Like, I thought when Molly dropped out that the axle would be a pretty comfortable event win for Willow. Well, I thought that Mary might be up there, but Tatiana was awesome in that, and she was awesome, like you say, all weekend. Like her moving events are awesome. The race between the two of them on sandbags was class. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I love. Yeah. And that's what I'd like before it when we said that was I was looking forward to that event for that reason. Those like photo finishes. Although they were set up in opposite ends, so it wasn't a photo finish.
Yeah. With the space we couldn't.
It was still cool. It was still cool. Given that bit of suspense with the crowd while you're waiting on the two times, it was cool.
Absolutely, yeah. They both got 10 reps on the stones as well, which is massively impressive.
Yep, yeah. The stones, the numbers went the numbers went up a lot this year, which is good, which means maybe next year we can put it up, because I know that a couple of things I had watched, I think when I watched Becca Wagon, she'd said it was too light, but she only did 4 reps the year before on the stone. So now that this year we've got people that are winning the comps that are also putting big numbers up, then we'll be able to put those.
Absolutely, we can justify now moving them up for next year. I think Tatiana's going to be dangerous at Worlds.
Yeah,
I think so. With a lot more events as well, even if she has a week. There was no dumbbell though, so.
I'm not sure how long it is because I've not seen it, but I don't want to write it off.
No,
given that I wrote it off for the overhead and that one.
Couldn't do that again.
Yeah, but she'll be dangerous at Worlds, as will Willow. Who was in third again?
Braun Price.
Braun, who had a short prep for it, so
she was on the
I would expect a better version of Braun. Not that she was a bad version there, but I would expect a better again version at Worlds. But with the
inclusion of Camilla.
The inclusion of Camilla, I'm going to put it out there now. I think everybody else is fighting for second place.
Yeah. It's hard to see past it. After seeing her in person at EPS and World OSG, like, she's a savage, man.
Yeah. I think, I really, really think that there's not many athletes, male or female, any weight class in the world that are better than Camilla.
Like, they're only... I hate to be rude to people out here, but I think the only hope of beating Camilla is if she fries herself on day one, because she has to do 8 events, if she's doing 73s as well, which she says she is.
Yep. I mean, the only thing I would say is we got her over to Edinburgh for the EPS.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was heavy. She did the 64s and then the next day did the 73s.
And she didn't hold back during the 64s one bit.
I thought, and then she went out on day 2 and pulled like 265.
Maybe 255. There was a 262 in day 1 and then 255 or something like that. It was
which was enough to win. Like, I dare say she maybe could have pulled a wee bit more. So like, again, I'm assuming you, I don't want to rule anybody out, but anything can happen in strongman. People can get injured. Anything can happen.
Look at poor Stu in the opens. We'll get to that later. That's a classic example of.
But
not that we wish that on anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. But anything can happen. But it's going to be really hard for anybody to beat Camilla.
Yeah.
I don't even think she's the kind of person that wants to lose an event. So it's going to be hard for them to beat her on anything. Like, me and Willow have chatted about it and joked about it. Like, see if Willow can get close to her on an event. Like, that's cool.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Camilla's been doing this for, I think she said,
I think she's about 20 years lifting, isn't she? And she's competed. Has she competed in the Commonwealth Games in Olympic lifting?
Yeah, I think so. She's done loads, man. And she said, she's never took a break.
Yeah.
She's not I'm going to go and do something else. I'll come back in 6 months or whatever. So that's what I said to Willow. I was like, you could be like that in 10 years' time.
That's. I think I said that same thing to Willow after EPS as well. We were chatting about it. Like, if she just a little bit every year, it's achievable by anyone if they just keep chipping away. Which Camilla's going to be doing this again. Next category, 73s.
Yep, 73s. We'll talk about the UK's first.
Absolutely.
So
Chloe took the win, as she has kept doing for a while now. As I think we both predicted too. Faye Pittman in second, which is a big improvement from last year.
Massive.
Laura Hollywood third, which was, oh my God, I just realised how tight this was. Alex Alexa in fourth, so there was a point between second and fourth.
Yeah, it was
That's
tight.
nuts.
Alex had a wee bit of fall on the stones as well, so I'm not sure if that would have changed things.
Alex, she got 6 reps on the stones, same as Faye, so another rep
might have
put you up on the podium.
And Laura Hollywood obviously came out and destroyed the stones and threw herself onto that podium, because about halfway through that competition you're looking and thinking, Laura's not up there. Do you know what I mean? She's just a wee bit off, but then she's got that event
11
in
reps,
the bag.
man. Absolutely obliterated it.
Savage. But Chloe Brennan is like we said, Chloe Brennan has never lost a comp since we started the Natties in the Natty side. She's won every one that she's done. So, she
was behind.
She was pushed,
for the first 3 events.
I chatted to her during it and after it, and both times she said, look, I was worried a wee bit, which is good, because you're always wondering in the back of your head, that I am, if she would get bored, if she's just coming up and smashing everybody. So it's good for her to get pushed, and we did say with those set of events that that we thought Faye would be the one to push her, but it turns out they all kind of did. But by the end, like although
she ran away
into the stones,
bit,
like going into the stones, she was relatively
she was
comfortable.
Just so consistent the whole way through, and that's what did it for her.
Which is classic Chloe Brennan. In fact, you could say that about any elite strongman.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was awesome. But again, coming into 90 Worlds, there's going to be more 73s, but there's also going to be Camilla.
Dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, and I don't want to be disrespectful for the other guys. I don't know if we could find the list because there's people qualified for other countries, which are good. And going back to the 64s again, I know like Rachel de Guyer for the Netherlands and stuff has qualified. There'll be others that'll come back to me as well as we go. I think Carly Oliveira is doing the qualifier in the USA. So yeah, there's going to be more than just Camilla coming into that and adding to it. But I think it's hard to not talk about Camilla because she's so good.
Plus, again, it's just easy for us to talk about her because we've seen her in action as well. We know what she's capable of from what we've seen in person. So. I think for me, like seeing her in person was eye opening. I think I remember going to OSG Europe's last year, and the person that I was most impressed with was Sandra Bradley, because she was up against Donna Moore, and I knew like I've seen Donna competing loads, and I was like, oh, can anybody beat Donna? And then Sandra was like so good, and I left being like, Sandra Bradley's like the best. And then Camilla competed in the 64s and then competed again against Sandra the next day in the 73s. Sandra had came down for 82, she came up for 64 and pushed her hard. Like in some of the head-to-heads on that were amazing as well. So yeah, I think that's gonna be cool. But doing 16 events essentially in 2 days. So taxing.
It's gonna be hard, and then
and it's heavy.
And hits heavy, and doing that, and then your second set of events is against Chloe Brennan. Then that's going to be very, very good to watch.
It'll be very, very exciting.
But those guys, Faye Pittman, Laura Hollywood, Alex Alexa, they'll all be up there taking points as well.
Absolutely.
What else did we have on that list?
Let me go back to the 73s. I'm going away from.
But they'll all be there, and I think
T. Southgate.
Taylor Southgate, she was 17 as well.
My God, unbelievable.
I think she did a 95 kilo axle. 90 kilo axle.
170 for 11 reps in the day.
She came out.
She won it.
She came out head to head with Chloe Brennan on that. Chloe did 10 and she did 11. And I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, she gave me like kind of Kate Conley vibes, but she when she was walking out in that, she looks quite shy and timid, and then she gets on the platform and it's go time and she's just like boom, 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 boom.
Third on the dumbbell. She came fourth on stones. And it's just the moving events that let her down.
Yeah, she looked, I can remember seeing her on the farmer, she just looked unstable and stuff, so we better work on that. And
she has like 15 weeks now to work on them going into Worlds. She could be dangerous.
Yeah, never mind 15 weeks, what's she going to be like in a few years?
Oh man, unbelievable. Sixth place, Wendy Stewart then,
Wendy's already qualified as a master, Wendy asked if she can do both.
Stop.
Yep, but you know what Wendy's like.
She's nuts.
Yeah, and also, obviously, if Camilla can do both, then
absolutely.
If you qualify for both separately,
and you do both.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
Mad joke.
She's
a mad joke.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. I've got a cool picture of Wendy. Actually, did I send you?
Don't ever give me the finger.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the Masters.
Yep.
We kind of skipped over them.
Yep.
First place, Gail McComiskey. I think we both predicted that.
Yep.
S. Phillips.
Sarah
Phillips. Oh, man, I need to get better with these names.
Michelle Leedy.
Rebecca Patterson.
Rebecca Patterson.
Rebecca.
Rebecca's Gallagher. But yeah, Michelle Leedy, Rebecca Patterson.
Charlie Muir?
Yeah, I think so. And Maria Kaczynska.
Yeah.
Eve Bennett.
Maria, who would have been qualified the previous year anyway.
Yep.
She was on the podium of Worlds last year. So,
yeah,
I think we weren't really surprised. Gail.
Yeah, I'm taking. Gail was awesome. Pretty comfortable. I think. What was the points in the end for Gail?
71.
And what was the next?
62.5.
Yeah, she was pretty comfortable, and She was just, she was on it the whole day. I think in the axle. What did Gail hit in the axle?
She hit 85 very comfortably, and she could have done more if she needed to.
Enough to win the event.
Yeah.
So that was cool, and Gail's going to be difficult to beat. But we have got masters coming in from Europe and from elsewhere, and I've got the masters as but we've each got allocated weight classes for the online qualifier, and I've got the masters. So I know that there's a couple of people already submitted stuff in the masters as well. So that will be interesting. The masters is growing, and I think we're looking to expand on that next year. Yeah, maybe have. Will
we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we can do that. So we're thinking having a weight class in both the masters. So it would kind of just be like lightweight and open weight. Maybe an under 73 or an under 82, one of the two, and then an open.
And for the men,
and then the same in the men, maybe under 90.
We figure that out.
And then an open. We're still working on it. So, but that's what we're looking to do.
Similar for the juniors as well.
Juniors, I don't think we were going to do weight classes.
Were we not?
I don't think so. I think when we spoke about it for masters, because the juniors still numbers wise isn't quite what the masters are. Also, this is just my opinion, so this isn't to say what we're going to be doing, but I don't like the idea of juniors cutting weight too early. I like the idea of them having until they're 23 to grow and get as strong as they can.
I 100% agree with you there.
Because if it was up to me exclusively, there would never be any weight classes in the juniors for that reason.
The one issue I think we'll come up with there is that there's guys that might be under 80, 90 kilo juniors, and they won't want to do it because you've seen some of the guys that were at the podium, they were 130, 40 kilo guys.
Which is what it is, but I don't want those 80 kilo guys getting to 85 and then cutting back to 80 when they're only 20-year-old. And because I think long term, although that might sound shit, we're trying to look after them long term so that they can be the best strongmen that they can be. But that's not my decision to make on mine, that's just my 2 cents on it. But I think definitely for the masters, we've got the numbers to put a weight class in. Something that we spoke about was having the masters and the juniors together as a separate thing, and what that would allow is, it's not that we're trying to separate the masters and the juniors from everybody else. What we're trying to do is allow the Gails, allow the Wendys, allow some of those juniors to not have to choose between one or the other. So if you did Scotland's, for example, and a month later you could do Scotland's juniors and masters, you could compete in your weight class, and then you could also compete as a junior and a master. So for the likes of people like Wendy who like to compete loads, I think it's perfect. So
I would imagine Gail would probably as well maybe do. She'd probably do the masters and then as well do, or maybe she wouldn't even do the masters because she's qualified for them. For Worlds and UKs, and then. But then
that could have its whole pathway. You could do masters, Scotland's, England's, Ireland's, Wales, and then masters, UK's, and then masters, Worlds, and then you could also do Scotland's in your weight class, UK's in your weight class, and then Worlds in your weight class. So you could do 6 comps a year then essentially, if you wanted to. No, everybody will want to. No, and I'm sure that no matter what. The same as everything else, no matter what you do, there's always got to be somebody who's unhappy about it. But we're trying to.
I don't really see the negative in that.
Neither do I, but I'm sure somebody will. But which is the same with everything that you do. But we need to make this. That's why we get in charge.
But the thing is, if you look at UK and Ireland's just passed, they were 2 13-hour days of competition. It's not feasible to add extra categories. And keep that as a 2-day event. Because how do you manage that? People are going to be there till 12 o'clock at night competing, and that's going to be a much bigger problem, I think.
No, absolutely. And it kind of takes away from what we always have been, which is fast-paced comps and exciting comps. Do you know what I mean? Nobody wants to be standing about for for the whole day.
The format of UK and Ireland for the last few years, I think people have always complimented it. They've liked it. You get in, you compete over the course of 3 hours or so, and you're done. And you can go then. And people seem to like it.
It's only going to get bigger. It's getting bigger every year. And obviously we're looking at adding a smaller, an equivalent of the 57s into the men's. So I think we spoke about maybe 72-ish.
Something like that.
So that's more people that are going to be in, and it's just we're going to have more people competing the same as we do every year at the national level, at online and everything. So it's bigger again. So it's at the point now where we're also cool, we need to be very particular with the venues that the thing. I think Chaos was at its capacity. There. I think GBA would maybe be okay. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 other gyms in the UK which we can have a look at. And
we struggle as well in GSP. Like when we ran UKs last year, we brought it to a CrossFit boxer on the corner because it's just that bit better size-wise.
Even then, you weren't able to go more than 2 lanes at a time.
Yeah.
I think we're now at the stage where we may need to look at 3 at a time on at least a couple of events.
Yeah. That's what we want to do for Worlds ideally this year, is have some of the events in 3 lanes at a time.
And not all of them, but
no.
And I think I believe, and I know I'm not sure if you agree or Flick agrees, but I believe that 3 is still very watchable.
Yeah. I think so too. Especially like if you can keep it relatively tight, where they're not miles apart and you can see it all on one camera. I think that makes it really cool.
Well, we did for Scotland's natties this year. We had the farmers and stuff go 3 at a time.
Yeah. And your track isn't huge wide, so it's very doable.
But that's 6 metres, so that was 2 metres per lane.
Which perfect for farmers. You wouldn't put 3 yokes there, would you?
No, you wouldn't. But I could get a wee bit of extra grass.
Yeah, I don't think it's needed. If you just put the farmers events 3 at a time, load medleys 3 at a time, and 2 yokes or whatever.
Yeah. We've got options, but we've got almost a year to figure it out and make sure that it's as close to perfect as we can get. So that was that.
Right, we're going a bit off track, are we?
Yeah.
So that was the Masters anyway. I think we'll move on to 82s next.
Yep.
Let me see. Let's find enough. Okay, 82s. First place, we have Lou French. Second, Emma Grunell. Third, Jess Tate.
Yep.
Fourth, Hannah Ross.
Yep.
And very tight there, 4th and 5th, Panda.
Yep, Panda Halliday.
And Hope Christie also goes to Worlds, doesn't she?
Yep.
In 6th place there, 'cause she was very tight with the rest of them. So, that was another exciting category.
Yep. I think it was. There was a lot of exciting stuff in that category, and I think there was some good battles. I think the top 3 were battling for the win, and I think the 4th, 5th, and 6th were all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Trying to get them spots at Worlds.
Get in that top 5, because obviously they never knew it was top 6 until after it because it was so tight.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Relatively comfortable win for Lou in the end, though.
Yes,
like she was 6 points in the lead going into that event, or 5.5 points going into the last event.
Yeah, pretty comfortable in the end, but well, outside of the axle, which I coach Lou, so we were disappointed with the axle. It was a bad start, but outside of that, she never placed outside the top 2 the whole day.
She was still mid-pack there though, so it wasn't too bad. 5th isn't the worst.
I think she can do better than that. She's done 85 in the gym, so to do 75 in fair 80s, I think the nerves just got a better there. But Lou French isn't going to Worlds, so that'll be a big miss.
That's sad.
So
okay.
She's getting married and
big year ahead.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, so she wants to take a small break.
That's a shame.
Unfortunate. I know. I thought she would have won.
Yeah. That's really sad for you, Steve, isn't it?
It's mostly sad for me.
Yeah. Lou's probably fine with it.
Yeah, she is. She's fine, but it's mostly sad for me. Also, when we go to Worlds, those top 6 will all be there taking points, but those top 3 who were really battling it out, I think will be up there again. But then Becca Wogan will be back.
Yes.
Another reason that I'm disappointed that Lou's not doing it, because I was really excited to see Lou beating Becca Wogan, which would have been great. And then
not fans of Becca Wogan.
I'm a huge fan of Becca.
Yeah. Everyone likes Becca.
I just I'm winding her up. But then we've got, I think Katie Gutwald and stuff coming over from America. There's a few other names.
I know, I seen an under 82 French entry coming this morning as well.
Yeah.
So we don't know what they're packing.
Yeah, I think that girl, I can't remember her name now, but I'm sure she's a really good powerlifter and a pretty good strongman as well, if I remember correctly. I know that there's a French girl who's either an 82 or an open. I'm sure she's an 82.
Okay.
In fact, I think the Swiss qualifier has a pretty decent standard of 82s. So there could be people coming in there that we don't know.
Exactly.
We've just not seen firsthand who are animals.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Be exciting to see what Becca can do now after coming back from injury.
Yeah.
She is coming over to Ireland to do the Irish Strength Cup, which the events are similar for. In the lead up to it, so we'll see what kind of shape she's in.
If anybody can come back strong, it's Becca Wogan, man. She's mentally strong, and she's just relentless. And I find it'll be hard to bet. I would never bet against Becca Wogan because she's an animal and she works hard year round, and she backs herself. You see a lot of the time with some of them, the biggest thing that holds them back is self-belief, especially in the women's, I think. whereas Becca Morgan just doesn't suffer for that.
Yeah. She and like her pressing and everything's so good that even if she wasn't at her best, she's still probably going to be right up there in the high scores.
Yeah, absolutely.
Her lower body was probably her weakest, like her deadlift, but she's been able to do like loads. I've seen her doing squatting loads and good morning loads, so her deadlift could come back stronger than ever.
Yep, absolutely.
So she could be the best Becca Morgan you'd ever see.
Yeah. I'd like to think so. It's good for the competition. Yeah, there's going to be some people coming over who are good as well. So that's going to be all to play for in the 82s. Yeah.
So on to the opens.
Open women. Yeah.
We both predicted this wrong.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I said Rosalind was going to win. You said Aisha was going to win.
And Estelle Fox won.
And Estelle Fox won, which we did both say was going to be. Well, I said.
Oh, you said because I had the clue she was.
I seen Anna at England's and she was very, very good. I just didn't know if the jump up was going to be a wee bit too much for her being inexperienced. But do you know what? She just looked like she was having fun the all day. She looked relaxed and she looked like a natural in that level of competition. Yeah. And she was awesome.
Didn't look stressed at all.
No, not at all. And actually, like I think, like the difference between Anna and Rosalind was managing nerves. I think Rosalind probably had a lot of pressure, internal pressure, because a lot of people had been predicting her to win, and she'd been there or thereabouts so many times, and Annette had always been the winner. Yeah. That the fact that Annette wasn't there, I think, do you know what I mean? She probably thought that if she didn't win, then she was letting people down.
Yeah.
And then she let that dictate a lot of things, which is a shame for her, but she'll be back for Worlds and Anna Estelle Fox, so we'll be back. And Aisha Ula, I think she's about 65-year-old, so if she can make it to Worlds, we'll see, man. We'll see. I think if Aisha can get to Worlds, I think she'll be in the top 10 in Worlds.
Out of 10, is it?
Yeah, probably 10. Out of 11.
I'm excited to see all three of them compete, and Ella as well.
Yeah.
The log ladder, I can't wait to see what Ella does in that log ladder.
Yeah, me too. Ella's, I think Ella had some, Ella's, again, like the biggest thing for Ella is like managing her own expectations of herself and like the negative self-talk. But I think that weekend really gave her some self-belief. Okay. And if Ella can put the work in between now and Worlds, she'll be dangerous.
Like, if you look at the scores here for the top 5, Vicky was 3 points off Ella, Ella was 3 points off Aisha, Aisha was 3 points off Roz, and Roz was 3 points off Anna. That could go anywhere.
Yeah. And it's like having, like, the thing is, you always look at it after and be like, oh, if this person done this, but nobody has a perfect day. No. Very rarely that happens. So I think the thing for Ella is, again, and this comes down to self-doubt of herself, like, I told her to do the 100 kilo sandbag first, and then do the Cuban and the slab. And she had done it in training, and she had completed it in training, but she let the self-doubt creep in and was like, I'm going to do the sandbag last. Oh. Make sure that I get the other two over, because I don't want to take the sandbag first and then I don't get it. And then she got the two over in a relatively good time, got the sandbag and got it stuck on the thing. Now, if she would have taken that first, she would have got all three. Yeah. I really believe that. And she lost a fair amount of points on that. So
I had to, that Aisha was considering doing the same thing, because again with the opens she was aware that like not the conditioning wouldn't be the best, so too fast could have been a decent points. And I was like, no, just go for the 100 first. You can do back yourself. That's exactly what it was.
The thing is as well, like, you know, as a coach, and I know as a coach, like, we won't tell them to do something that we don't think they're capable of. Even if it's like 50-50, then we'll probably
on the side of caution potentially.
And that's like two examples of that are, obviously, I'd asked Ella to do the 100 first. She never backed herself. But after it, because that's what she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, you don't need to apologise, you just need to back yourself, because it's you that lost the points, not me. And I think that, based on how she done on other things that she didn't believe she would do well on, like farmers, for example, I think she'll take a different mindset to Worlds. And the same, like the opposite of that is true of Lou, who had hit the 48 kilo circus dumbbell several times in training, but before she went out, was like, do the 42, hit 4 reps, concise reps, you know you can do that. It's enough points for you to go in.
And she won that,
to the first place overall, going into the stones, and then, like, provided, unless there's something ridiculous happens, then you've won. She listened to that, took it on board, and was like, cool, I'm going to execute the plan. But that's like, been working together for enough years. Do you know what I mean? I'm just.
You're what, 5 or 6 years?
5 years, So she was like, I'm just going to stick with the plan, and it worked too. So I think again, like, over time, working with a coach, and that's why I think people work with people long term works as well. You get to know that person, you trust them, they trust you.
It could take a year or two for some coaching athletes to really figure each other out, to know exactly how this is going to work.
And I think that, again, we're probably getting sidetracked a wee bit, but I think that's the importance of like not talking shit to your clients as well. It's like, I always try and tell them the truth. Here's what I think you can do. Because if I tell them, oh, you can get a 100 kilo sandbag, definitely, and then they go and fail it. And then the next comp, I'm like, oh, you can get this, and then they go and fail it. They're going to start to not believe what I say in comp. So I need them to know that when I tell them that they can do something, that they can do it. And I'm sure you're the same. I'm sure everybody's the same. But I think that's why it's important not to blow smoke up your client's arse, especially in this day and age.
It's the worst thing you could ever do.
Especially in this day and age with social media and stuff, because it'll put doubt in them, but also if something doesn't go to plan in a comp, I've seen it spiral out of control for people that have had that hype. Do you know what I mean? People, the coach posting the whole build up, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and then they have a bad event, and before you know it, it's like spiraled.
Yeah, right, we're going off on a tangent there, aren't we?
On to the men.
It happens. I'll have to get out of this and into the men now.
Under 80s was up first, and Andrew Keys, I think we both predicted Andrew Keys to win.
I believe so.
And when he did, I think he had to work for it, but I think he was relatively in control.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'll have it now here in a second.
Day. But yeah.
He's just so well-rounded, like there was no...
Yeah, really well-rounded, and he was there to win the comp, and he did exactly that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Matt Neese had came just to attempt the axle record.
I was reffing, and Matt Neese walks out, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing here? I have no idea, and he just nods at me. I'm like, what's this about?
He came obviously just to break the axle record. It fell a wee bit short on the day. Jack Renison may as well have been there just to break the axle record, because after he did break the log record as well.
He just left it at that, basically.
Well, he did the next couple of events, but he should have left it at that.
Did he try?
Yeah, he did the deadlift. I think he came dead last.
I know he did it, but did he even try, or did he care about the rest of this?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think he was there. I think he knew probably that he wasn't going. I'm sure I heard him saying that he didn't think that he was going to make it to Worlds.
Okay.
Based on a couple of things just holding him back. His deadlift mainly, but really happy for Jack because to get the both records as well, because he deserves it. Now, if he could just put the same energy into his deadlift that he does into his overhead, then I think next year we'll be looking at him coming to Worlds and competing in comps and not just being a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry.
It's what we all want to see.
Yeah, Andrew Keys.
Andrew Keys won by 13 points.
Yeah,
smashed it. Dominant.
Smashed it. But you put Matt Neese back in there in a full comp in Worlds.
And Kyle.
You put Kyle Scott. There's an Australian boy, I shared this thing today, coming over. His name's eluding me at the...
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Australian boy.
Australian boy in the under 80s who's got a 100 kilo monster dumbbell, 170 Atlas stone.
Wow.
Among other things. Who
that's impressive.
Is going to be up there. I think his name will come back to me. But yeah, I think there's going to be a few Australians that come over that shock a few people.
Under 82's entry this morning from Australia, Megan Clark. She's been told I think she might have been a finalist.
Yep.
She's quite good if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I think her name is something Staffy on Instagram.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think the Australians might. What I'm trying to say is, if people think that the top 5 from UK's is going to be the same top 5, then you're
very wrong.
Surprised, yeah. Which is exciting. That's what we want.
Yeah. So then Liam McConville, he came second. 3 points off him. Andrew Taylor, John Ginty in 4th, and Sean Cassidy in 5th. But I think we brought down to 7th to Worlds here, did we? Because it was
tight, and it was
so
the standard was awesome across the board.
It was. Do you know what? The under 80s never fail to be entertaining.
Yeah.
One of the most entertaining categories.
Yeah. They're faster, those little guys.
But I think that's what makes it good. It's good to watch them do load medleys and farmers because they're always so tight with each other. Very exciting for Worlds. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens over 8 events now.
The thing is, they're small, you can fit more of them in a room, so we can afford to take a couple extra to Worlds. They don't take up much space. Whereas the Opens,
you were an under 80, weren't you?
Yeah, well, for one comp, yeah. Whereas the Opens, man, you can't afford to take extra of them to Worlds because those dudes, you imagine taking an extra stew tomorrow. It's like
10 stews in a room.
yeah, he's
it's
taking up
full,
too much,
man.
taking up too much space in the room, man. Taking up too much plates as well, and for the weight to fit on the bar, like.
90s, again, this was phenomenal to watch because the winner of Worlds last year comes third. The guy who won UK and Ireland last year comes fifth.
Yep.
Pavlos Goras and Tom Butts.
I would argue possibly the best category of the day at least, maybe of the weekend. The 73s could be...
Could arguably the
yeah,
73s,
yeah, but the 90s, was, in terms of excitement, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Matt Liff won it with 66.
Yep.
I don't know, Kay Herbert? What's his
Chris
name?
Herbert,
Chris
Welsh.
Herbert,
Yep.
65.
Also, I think Chris Herbert broke the axle record, which was above what the 105s did as well. So I think his
150.
record, his record, he broke the 90s and 105s
Okay,
axle
wow.
record, and he was right up there the whole day, man.
Yeah, very impressive.
Matt was awesome though, really, really
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Tom Butts, 62.5 points. He was in with a shot at win
Yep.
as well at the end there. Massive effort on stones at 10
Yep.
reps. Easterbrook?
good. Ian Easterbrook, Scottish. Ian
Scottish,
Easterbrook,
yeah.
Yep.
In fourth, and then Pavlos in fifth.
Yep. And then I think we took
7 because there was only a point. It was half a point between fifth and seventh.
Yeah, half a point. Yeah, so it was super tight. And Craig Lewis, I think.
Craig Lewis was the
7th,
final man
yeah.
to get in, and
Scraped
Andrew
in.
Bottomley.
Craig Lewis has never missed a comp since we started Natural Strongman.
Really?
He's done every Scotland's, he's done every UK's, and now we're scraping into that. He'll have done every Worlds as well.
Do you know what? He was relatively consistent along the whole day, except for the load medley where he came last.
Yeah, which is actually normally a decent event for him. So,
Really?
yeah, it's a shame.
What happened?
But I don't know. But he turns up, man, and he puts a shift in, and
Yeah.
he always gets himself there.
Yeah.
I think he finished 4th at Worlds last year. I'm sure he was like half a point, maybe a point behind Sam, who finished 3rd. So
He's always there.
he's always there, and he's always putting on a show, and
Yeah.
he's always smiling, and he's always working hard year round. And yeah, he deserves to be there, man. He's never missed a comp. When he retires, we'll make an award after him. The Craig Lewis Warrior Award.
Craig Lewis 39, so he could be Masters next year. Actually.
Yeah, he will be a Master next year. Yeah, he could do both, man. He could do.
Sure, it's the same
He
weight.
could do 90s. He could do Masters after we're splitting them up.
He's one of them. Yeah,
He's another one of those guys.
There you go.
He's the male Wendy.
He's the Wendy from Scotland. Yeah.
A much quieter Wendy. I don't think.
Definitely a
I
lot
don't
quieter.
think you're going to catch Craig Lewis sticking the finger up to
No. One is enough. We can handle one person.
One Wendy's great, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't need any more.
No,
like, yeah.
Jesus, no. Okay, right. On to the one, or no, Masters, sorry. We'll do the Masters.
Yep.
The
The old boys. Was it quite a small field, if I remember rightly?
8.
No, it's
Eight
not.
of
It's not too small.
No.
Um,
Will McMartin taking the win.
yep.
B. Whitehead.
Barry Whitehead.
Barry
Baz.
Whitehead. Alan Willis.
Yep.
Stephen Warren. S. Warren.
I think so.
I think so.
He must be English. I don't remember
And
him.
S. Sheridan.
Yeah.
David Wright, 6th. I believe he got to Worlds as well because he was only half a point off.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy, is it Barry Whitehead?
Yep.
Was he? I think if he's the guy I'm thinking of, he was very impressive.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think
Yeah.
it was just a couple of mistakes, a couple of things that let him down. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like he won the dumbbell,
Yep.
won the farmers. Yeah, he was thereabouts all day, which shows
Yep.
actually because the two
Yeah.
boys were tied on points at the end.
Yeah, it was count back, wasn't it?
count back that, yeah.
I think they'd well won the Stones, which gave him the win.
Yeah.
Because I think Barry was maybe first going into the Stones.
Yeah,
And I actually
he
thought
was.
it
Barry was a point and a half, two and a
Yeah.
half points ahead.
Yeah, so Stones.
But a bunch of them got 4 reps, yeah. And
Yeah. There you go. Good old Stones.
Yeah, Alan Willis 3rd, he's been
Getting
solid as well.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good battle with the guys all day, and
The Masters men, I don't know many internationals coming or anything, so I guess we just have to wait and see what shows up at Worlds.
yeah. Regardless, we've got the whole podium for last year. Went at Worlds was Tim Meadows,
Yeah,
Alex Shepherd, and Ian Kirk.
and none of them here. Okay, right.
None of them were there, so we've got those 3 to go back in.
Yeah,
I would think, depending on, I know that there's Masters coming. I know that we've got 4 or 5 in next week's Dutch qualifier.
okay.
So like anybody that we're talking about just now, we're not.
Excluding
Yeah,
the other people.
these guys haven't qualified yet,
Yeah.
and there will be people there.
We just don't know them.
Yep.
Can we
and
talk
there
about
will
what we
be
know, I
people there
guess?
who are good, and I think some of the stuff that I've seen, like it looks like there'll be Masters coming over who are strong. I know that there was one or two in Switzerland, the Swiss qualifier, who were good. So yeah, I suspect that. But I think the top 3 for last year coming in adds a really.
Are they all definitely coming in?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure Tim is.
Okay.
Alex Shepard tends to try and duck Tim ever since Tim smashed him at Worlds. I think Alex thought that he was the favourite going into Worlds. Alex was ahead pretty much the whole weekend. Tim won it on the fingers, which has been event 8. So
that's painful.
Alex has actively avoided Tim ever since then. So if Tim does the comp, then I don't know if Alex will do it. But if Tim doesn't do the comp, then I think Alex will do it. So
okay, right, okay,
yeah.
okay.
So, but I want to see it. I want to see Tim beat Alex again. And Tim versus Alex, that wasn't Tim beat Alex again. Although I suspect that's how it would go. And Ian Kirk was awesome as well, so I think that he'll be up there as well. And obviously the top 3 through there you can't rule out.
No.
And again, like say David Reiter stuff, we're heavier again comp.
Might be better for him.
Might suit him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to play for the Masters at Worlds, I think. Yeah.
Right, on to the juniors.
Juniors.
Kay Niazi. I don't know what it's
Kaleem. Yep.
Kaleem, yeah. Jay Jersby.
Joe, I should read the names out, man.
You should read the names out, man. John,
read the names out, yeah.
Adam Kempton and Darragh O'Brien, I know that much.
Ben Gillespie, that was your top 3. Kaleem,
yeah.
Joe, Ben Gillespie, and then Adam Kempton, boy with a big axle. But not to say that he wasn't good at all things, because he finished 4th overall.
Yeah.
Darragh O'Brien.
Yeah.
Famous comedian.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah. And did we take 5th and
I believe we took 6th, but I'm not 100%
look at the point.
sure.
6th it would have been because it was 51.5 points, so very close. So it is. Then a bit of a drop off. Jack Willard was in 44.5. But if you didn't qualify, man, do the online qualifier. If you didn't qualify, do the online.
There are a couple of Irish guys in various categories that are doing the online qualifier. No, that didn't. They were tight. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Because again, different set of events. You don't know what could happen.
Yeah, but that was good. And Kaleem, the boy who
he was very good.
21. Like he's going to be a good Open in a couple of years' time. So
I believe he's still playing rugby, from what he said to me the other day.
Yeah, really cool to see. And then like a couple of boys hit 140 on the axle, and Adam Kempton hit 150 on the axle.
Yeah.
So, but Ben Gillespie and Joe Jersby in 2nd and 3rd only hit 120 on the axle, which tells you that these boys, as they get older, are going to get statically stronger, but they're already savages on the moving events.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact
Which
that they finished second
for like the Worlds might be better, because obviously there's less static, there's more moving going on.
Yeah, but it is heavier as well.
It is heavier.
Like both, it's just going to change the comp up a lot.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was awesome, and it's always good to see these young guys coming in. And starting strongman early.
They always bring so much energy as well as juniors.
Yeah, and starting strongman early. How good are these boys going to be in 3 years' time? It's cool. And then next year we're hoping to provide juniors for the women's as well, which is another part of separating that the juniors and the masters, allowing the juniors to then compete in the weight class if they want, but also have that chance.
Because there was a few junior women, teen even.
And the likes of Elisha and who's in the 73s will still be a junior next year. Taylor Southgate, young Darcy Walker who was in the Open.
That's right.
We'll all have the option to compete in the weight category, or as an Open, and then juniors again as juniors. And the same with a lot of these boys like Carter Lang, who missed out on Worlds. I know that he's an under 90. A lot of the Welsh boys, I think there was 3 of them in the under 90s who done juniors, and I allowed them to compete in both because it was the same weights. So
I think Darragh O'Brien there from Ireland, he'd definitely be under 105, if not.
So 105s.
105s next,
105s was awesome. The top 2 were really good. I think the points reflect that. So Elliot Owens on 59 points, Andrew Goodlad on 56.5 points.
They fairly ran away with it, didn't they?
And then you've got, was it John Knight? Sorry, I'm acting worse than you, Matty. James Knight, there you go.
Didn't know I could have just clicked into them.
Apologies, James. Thomas Fisher, Jonathan Liddell-Johnson rounding out the top 5. And then, Miles Hutchinson in 6 just missing out. But I dare say if Miles does the online qualifier, then I'd fancy Miles
to make it through.
To make it
I would think so.
He's dangerous.
I think I was looking back at the scores and that, and I think Miles just didn't have a good stone run, and that really killed him.
Yep. Yeah.
But like he's fairly well rounded.
Yeah,
so.
11th on the stones. What happened there? Just a bad.
He is better than that, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's done better in the past.
Yeah.
But these things happen, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Andrew Good, lads. Very exciting. Is he
Elliot,
a junior still?
No, I think he's 24.
Okay. But he's quite young.
On there, but he's young.
Yeah.
He's young. And if you look at that, he won 4 events out of 6.
What let him down?
The 2 overhead events. The axle and the dumbbell.
But a guy that young has loads of time.
Yeah, and his axle wasn't terrible. The dumbbell, his axle, he hit 125. I don't know if you remember, because I don't think it was you that was ref, and I think you were on the other side. He actually locked the axle out, pretty much got the down command that started to go in, and he dropped it behind him. Because he dropped it, the way he dropped it behind him, you remember the signs that were getting
he smashed the signs.
He fell into the sign, but then it got jammed behind it, so by the time that he got it back out, he only had like 6 seconds left, and he was just like, But I dare say if he'd have hit 135, he would have won the comp. But Elliot, again, it comes down to showing you being consistent.
Yeah, you are right though. If he did do the 135, he would have won.
Yeah, he would have won the comp. But Elliot, if you look there, tied first on the overhead, second on the deadlift for reps behind Andrew, second on the loading race behind Andrew, third on the farmers behind Andrew and one more, dumbbell first, maybe tied first, or was he outright? He was outright first on that.
And Andrew was 5th.
Yep, and then second on the stones. So the only event that he won was the dumbbell. But that was enough to win him the comp, which again, like similar to what we were saying with Chloe earlier, it's just like consistently high up, man.
Because if someone makes a slip up, you're in.
Which also, like, if you've got a bad event, like, minimise damage control. Make sure that your bad event's not killing you. And you're looking down to Jonathan Little Johnson in 5th, who was 3rd at Worlds last year, which just shows you how quickly the standard is growing there.
Just like the 90s, where like Tom is down to 3rd and Pavlos is back to 5th.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fucking brilliant to see. Love it.
It's so good to see.
Not that I love to see the boys being dropped off, but just the standard.
Yeah. But those boys like Jonathan, I've no doubt that Jonathan will go and he'll work hard and he'll be at Worlds and he's consistent and he'll be up there at Worlds as well. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he finished higher at Worlds again than what he did at UK's, because I'm pretty sure it might have been the same last year.
Okay.
I could be wrong there.
But I'm not sure either, to be honest.
Yeah, he's your phone, man.
That just keeps locking itself.
That thing out. You can't do that in my ear.
But I get the opens for you.
It opens, man.
This category saddened me the most at the end.
Yeah.
The last run of the day.
It was a shame. Like, and for me, it's like Stu. So Stu's first.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole day.
He had an 8-point lead.
He needed 2 reps on the stone.
Would Run have done it though?
No, 2 he would have won.
Okay.
Like, I told him going out, if he'd have got 1 rep, we would have got 4 points. Yeah, so 1 rep and he would have won. So 1 rep on. I told him before it like 2 would have won, but it turns out that based on how things went, 1 rep would have been enough for him to win overall. But he tore his bicep on the thing. So
is it off or just muscle?
So he got an ultrasound last night,
and
it's I could probably read it out to you because it was very technical, but it's a partial tear of the
tendon
of the tendon from the bicep.
That's him out for Worlds, I'm assuming, or
we'll see.
Is he getting it reattached?
Well, he was finding out. He was still to speak to the surgeon when I spoke to him last. Okay. So the surgeon was in doing a surgery. So the other person that he sold was basically, it's 50-50, it's your call. But he was going to speak to the surgeon before making any decision. Okay. So that's
I would imagine if he didn't get it attached, he's probably in for Worlds. If he does, he might not.
Yeah. I think he should do it. I think if he's got a chance to do Worlds, because like, I think he can win Worlds. I said I thought that he could win UK's, even though. So a wee bit of backstory, like Stu had 2 career-threatening injuries back to back. He did Scotland's Strongest Man qualifier 2 years ago. Did like, it was 300 for reps deadlift. I think on his like 10th rep, he lost his balance. Was in figure 8s, dropped the 300 kilos through his knee. Ended up with cellulitis and loads of other things off the back yet, but. Had that injury, was coming back to do Scotland's Strongest Man qualifier last year in training, one of his last training sessions on duck walk, rolled his ankle, went over onto that and damaged some ligaments and stuff in his ankle. So
did he break his ankle as well that time?
I think he did, yeah. So there was loads of, there's got ligament damage in his knees and his ankles, which are probably harder to recover from than the broken bone, and the broken bone in there. then yeah, just
he's getting back to his best.
Time. Yeah, genuinely believe like we went out, put a lot of work in. Like we knew that he wasn't back to his best on the moving events, but controlled the controllables.
Yeah.
Like, and he said after it, even though that happened, he was like best performance he's put in the Strongman in 3 years, which is encouraging. So
yeah.
I still believe that if we can get him back, man, he can win worlds.
Yeah. Man, his static strength was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the 300 for 5.
Yeah, it's comfortable. He just stopped because
and the axle press as well. Like,
yeah,
I seen in the corner of my eye. I think my guy had finished, and I just seen Stu just go bang, quick press. And I'm like, oh.
He's so strong. And then when it's heavy again at Worlds, that log ladder, watching Stu on that, it's a shame. I don't think Joe Brown's going to be at Worlds. Last year's winner.
Yeah, he messaged me.
But I really wanted to see Joe and Stu on the log ladder together.
Yeah. It would have been very, very good.
Yeah.
But there's other guys like Jarko
Matala, yeah, Jer.
I think there's apparently one of the Canadian guys coming over is supposed to be a savage in the opens.
Yep.
Americans.
We've got guys signed up in the Americans. There's a boy,
big.
It's power or whatever.
Okay.
AK_power or something.
Okay.
I forget his name, but American boy who's supposed to be really good.
There's another big guy who's done OSG Opens. I don't know if he's ever made the final or anything, but he's been over there competing. So if you're there, you're probably decent.
Yeah. There's a few.
Exciting.
Yeah. Maybe, is there any Australian Opens? I know that there's European Opens.
Yeah.
There's a boy, Stepan. I'm not going to try and pronounce his second name, but it's Stepan.
What about Hercules?
And I already said to you, and you brushed right over it.
Yeah.
Your own client, man. You were like, nah,
Hercules.
Infamous. You were like, nah, forget about JR. Let's brush over that. JR just came second to Untested Islands.
Yeah.
Like, is athletic.
He's a threat. Yeah.
Is always a threat, and might get in some of the guys' heads before the comp, man, with the names.
He's going to have them all bet before they walk in there.
Yeah, either that or else he's going to have them wanting to fight him, man.
Yeah, or else he's going to get battered out the back.
He might get battered in the way in if that happens. It's not happened yet, but it could. But yeah, Jared will be up there. Jared won UK's last year, fell a wee bit short, ended up third at Worlds.
Yeah.
Yarko, so if you add that, and John McClellan, we never spoke about John, which
we got straight into Stu. We just like
obviously that was unfortunate with Stu, but if there was anybody that I like, obviously it's bittersweet because nobody wants Stu to get injured, and even John said that either. But if there was anybody that I could have been happy for taking that top spot at the top of the podium, Sean McClellan.
Because he's Scottish, or do you actually like him?
Both. John McClellan. And
is he from your place?
No, he's from Glasgow.
Okay.
Well, I'm from Glasgow as well, but he's not from my gym, which is in Edinburgh. But he does come through quite regularly. John's coach is one of my best mates, and actually one of the first people that I met when I became a PT. We worked together.
Okay.
Which was 12, 13 years ago now. So Alan's a really good guy. Looks like you a wee bit. The funny thing is, you look like you could be his big brother, but he's like 10 years older than you.
Yes, my own fortune comes out again.
He's natty. He's a nice time natty. I'm not saying that you'll know, but I'm just saying that he is. But that'll be
third place then, chomping on their heels, and fourth place. Danny Brumpton, who he's the deadlifts over depression t-shirts guy.
Sandbags over shit shag. Who, and he said, he was like, hopefully I put on a performance so that I'm not just mentioned for my t-shirt. And I think that he done that.
He was very good.
He was very good.
He had the biggest fan base there all weekend.
Biggest, massive, best fan base.
Anytime he walked out, the place went crazy.
And he put on a show, man. He was good. Like the moving events were awesome. Not that his overhead wasn't. His overhead was actually pretty solid as well. I think he was.
He came second on the dumbbell.
And I think he was unlucky to miss the 145.
He got a rep of the 300 deadlift.
But he's moving like he by his own admission bitched out on the farmers a wee bit, which lost him a fair amount of points. But his sandbags were awesome, and he was awesome.
Andrew Taylor then.
Taylor, is always dangerous in these comps.
His deadlift lets him down.
I think by Andrew's own standards, he maybe never had his best day. But he's just a baby as well.
I was going to say, literally just brought a new life into the world. He might not be getting much sleep that week.
Coming fourth, I think we need to start talking about Andrew as his own entity and not as Annabelle's boyfriend anymore. Not as Annabelle's baby's dad. I think we can start talking about Andrew as his own man.
Okay,
because he was pretty solid. And I think going into Worlds we can do that.
Okay.
So Andrew Taylor, that's what you're known as from now on. Not as Annabelle's boyfriend.
Not Annabelle's boyfriend.
But yeah, Andrew was there, and then who was in fifth there?
Alderson. Alderson.
Click the name, Matt, if you don't know it. You can't even read.
Mark, get dickhead.
Mark Eldon.
Actually, yeah, I remember him. He was very good in some of the events.
Yeah,
he was quite solid.
Jordan Trafford. I think he goes by Tango, but Jordan Trafford. Did we take Jordan? What was the points? Maybe
2.5, maybe. No, I don't think we did.
No,
I think we just took top 5.
Yeah.
So, because it would have been like we had to take this guy, then this guy, and this guy.
So
it would
Jordan,
have been
because they were all tight, and then that was a wee bit of a gap. So it was top 5 in that one. I think it was the same as in the 105s. So yeah, the likes of Jordan, Frank Villardo. I hope I see those guys on the online qualifier, because all guys that I think are good
even
enough.
Gordon, Alam here, like they, if one thing went better for them, they could be right up there.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like put your if you never had the best day and you think if I had my best day I would have been there, then put your entry in for Worlds, put your online qualifier in. Even if you've only got a few weeks, stick it in, because you don't know. Yeah. Like you might get there, and then if you get there, you can prove everybody that you should have been there in the first place. So I know that there's people that just missed out that were maybe like, I should be there. So put your entry in for Worlds.
You have a chance.
Yeah.
You have another chance.
And the way that it was done, it was like some of them only got 5, some of them got 6, and some of them got 7. The reasons we thought were fair across the board. And
like someone's not going to like that, but I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, I think and that's the thing as well. I get a lot of messages directly because everybody's like, it's his fault.
Yeah, I know Steven. He's clearly a cunt.
But I never, there wasn't any, I basically, Luke was running the comp. Whatever Luke suggested, I went with. Yeah. And he gave explanations.
In fairness, he called us both over every time.
Every
we
time.
Went through it.
But
and we both,
I don't think there was anything that he said that we disagreed with, because he had obviously put a bit of thought into it, and it was the day with the points and how close it was.
It all made sense.
Yeah, and it did make sense.
So if you do have a problem
if
with
you didn't make it, it's Luke's fault.
Totally Luke's fault.
Do the online qualifier. Do the online qualifier, because if you think that you deserve to be Worlds, I don't disagree. But you need to earn that now again. So go
Absolutely.
for it.
That's actually all our categories.
That's it.
That's everything. Yeah.
So Worlds.
Worlds.
We've put most of the events. Well, we've put 5 events out so far. By the time the podcast goes out, we'll have put at least the next one, which is the sandbags.
I think they'll all be out, Steve.
Yep.
By the time the podcast is actually out, probably a week.
Yep.
So I think we can just crack into chatting about them all.
Yeah.
First one, the log ladder.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this.
I'm excited. I'm more excited than you.
Are you more excited than me? Yeah. Why is that?
I'm only joking. I'm equally as excited. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing the names that we spoke about. I'm still got my fingers crossed that Stu can be fit.
160 at the end.
Because I want to see that, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jarko could put that up.
Absolutely.
If he's fit enough. I know he's strong enough.
And if you look, generally speaking, a lot of the big open guys in like the States and that, I think they're big pressers over there a lot of the time. Probably more so than the UK and Irish guys.
Absolutely, especially the Scottish guys, but out with Stu, obviously.
Yeah.
Because that was
he's an exception.
Let John doing a wee bit was his act. So I think that it's going to be exciting in the opens, but also in the women's, I think that'll be exciting. I want to see Ella doing the log ladder. I want to see Rosalind doing the log ladder. That or Irish, the old women will be all right. I can't remember her name. The old woman that did the opens, I forget. The English woman, I think she's from Watford. That'll be exciting across the board. Obviously, I don't want to keep coming back to Camilla, but Camilla doing all ladder's got to be cool. Camilla doing everything's got to be cool. To watch. And then
I think the weights are just heavy, man. So
the weights are heavy. I want to see people hitting that.
Kyle Scott, how quickly can he eat through this log ladder? It'd be exciting to see that, because he just fucking blitzed last year.
And again, the boys, the under-80s boys who always put on a show and always like to put on a show outside as well and talk their shit. The strongest natty shoulders are always talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if this Australian boy, his name's Smitty_Powerbelly, it just came back to me there.
Oh, I seen him tagging Natural Strongman today.
Yeah, so that's a boy with a 100 kilo dumbbell.
I never would have thought that was an under 80 guy, because he probably doesn't have a power belly, does he?
No, he doesn't at all. He's
That's like an open guy's name.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
he, change your username.
Strongest natty shoulders, man. He's going to put himself right into that argument for the strongest natty shoulders. Jack Renison isn't strong enough to even be able to be there and try and fight for the title of the strongest natty shoulder. So I'm going to put it out there now. Whoever wins the log ladder at Worlds has the strongest. I don't care about all these records. Whoever wins the log ladder at Worlds gets to call themselves the strongest natty shoulders. And it won't be Jack Renison, because he's not strong enough to be at the top.
What was the log record? 130 something, was it?
It'll get beat at that. What does it finish at?
120.
Ah, that's a shame.
That is a shame. Well, we had another
Let's
one.
just put a 6 log in 130. Yeah. But yeah, Kyle Scott will be Kyle Scott's Kyle Scott. Like again, like has Kyle lost an Natty comp? Has he not won one?
Did he do the first UKs?
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
To be honest, but he won in Galway
Who won
last year.
UKs the first year?
That's what I'm asking. Was it Kyle? You ran it.
I can't remember now.
I can't remember either.
3 years ago, man.
But he won UKs last year and he won Worlds last year.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah,
he's obviously going to be up there now.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's going to be a really Adam Kempton, the junior. Can't wait to see him eat through this as well.
He's not under 80.
No, in the Welsh, just for the junior
Yeah,
category. We're not talking about the underage.
Oh,
we're talking about the log ladder.
Sorry. Yeah, well, Adam Kempton. Yeah, absolutely.
He'll be really exciting to see flying through that.
And I would suspect that Kareem as well would be
pretty damn good at that as well. Yeah. Great to see them head to head.
Yeah, absolutely. We can make that happen.
We could actually. It's the first event. We can start that out.
We can make that happen.
It's going to be random.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had Scotland's strongest women at the weekend, so we kind of made the log ladder, the overhead, like we tried to put it as like, what I kind of tried to do with some of the girls as well is put them against their mate who they would want to go against.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was obviously the first event.
Yeah.
But look, if you look at all the big shows, if you look at a Giants Live show, they'll have, if it's a log ladder or a deadlift ladder, they'll have the two best guys at the end against each other, always.
Yeah.
And that's,
no, the two best log pressers, not the two necessarily.
Exactly. Two at that event, two best.
It would be, well, obviously I like the way it works, that you win an event, you get to go last on the next one, but it'd be cool if we could kind of seed each event, because the people that you put at the end of the log wouldn't necessarily be the people that you put at the end.
But the thing about winning an event, you get the advantage then, don't you? So.
Yeah.
Anyway, next event, timber frame carry. This is heavy.
Yeah, and it's timber frame. It's just cool.
It's cool as fuck.
Yeah, really cool. We've seen it it's a staple at the Arnold's.
Yeah.
We've seen it last year at OSG, and it's going to be cool.
Yeah, we used it for the official Strongman Ireland's.
Yep.
So looking back at photos and videos, it was just really cool, real eye-catching stuff. Like, and it's kind of a staple in Strongman, isn't it? When you look at like the Arnold and all that.
Yep. Yeah, I think the 73s will be exciting there as well. I think.
It's 200 kilos.
Chloe Brennan is lightning quick.
Yeah.
But by her own admission, Grip has let her down in the past. She is working on it now. Camilla is going to be up there. I also think Laura Hollywood will be up there.
Absolutely.
With that being that heavy.
A lot of it's going to be who can hold on to this race.
And that's what makes me say I think Laura Hollywood will be up there. If Chloe does drop it, Laura could be the one to get in there. And then, again, in the thing, a lot of guys that have just got really good grip that maybe never done as well in the farmers because they're not quite as quick, but in the opens I would expect John McClellan, who won Scotland, the farmers for distance at Untested Scotland's last year or the year before,
right. He'll fly
against the likes of Andy Black and Lewis Jack and stuff. He'll be dangerous on the frame.
Okay.
Because his grip's incredible. His hands are like this.
Well, he's like 7 foot tall.
Yeah, he's he did to me. Oh, you said on the thing, mate, I was like 7 foot. I'm like 6'8" or something.
He said it to me. He said it to me at UK and Ireland as well. To be honest,
you're 7 foot, man. You're 7 foot.
I'm looking up at him anyway. He's huge, but not hard for me. I'm tiny. Yeah, 320. It's heavy. It's heavy. I'm excited to see this. I know we discussed the weights for Worlds with Luke as well, and like we always have big back and forth, but I really wanted this to be heavy. I want to be a right test of grip. I personally looked at the weights of UKs and thought, they looked heavy, but I think it needs to be taken into consideration that, like, if it's at mine or whatever, we've got the Strength Shop Riot handles, and the handles that were used were a bit thinner. Yeah. So I think the weights, you can, when it's thin a handle, you can afford to go a bit heavier. Yeah. So I don't think it was necessarily too heavy. I think it was too heavy, not too light. Sorry, I think it was maybe too light for those handles. It's handle specific, which is why again, when you're looking at people, like, I know it's different because it's not a moving event, but sometimes I obviously posted something about the people saying that I can break this record at blah blah blah. I've done in the gym. I'm like, it's different kit, it's different environment, it's different. There's loads of factors. You've not just cut weight. You're probably sitting at, if you're in under 90, you're probably sitting at 95. Yeah. So don't be telling me that you've broke the record. Do you know what I mean? Unless I've weighed you in myself, I don't care about your video. Yeah. Unless I've weighed you in myself, had the opportunity to drug test you, and
Do you know what I mean? Over the course of the year, and
it means nothing.
Yeah, don't be sending me a video of you in your garage.
Were people actually sending you videos?
I don't care. People tag me in them, and people tell me all the time, like, or people will be like, I've done this for free, and
who cares?
Well, I'm like, unless I've weighed you in personally, or one of us has weighed you in.
Yeah.
Like,
You've showed up at a natural comp.
You've showed up at a few natural comps, and we've had the chance. Whether we tested you or not, but we've had the chance. We know that you're making weight comfortably for that weight category regularly, and you're hitting those weights after doing that, then I'm not interested in hearing about you breaking the record. I'm interested in you breaking the record, come and do it.
Yeah.
But other than that, don't tell me that you got to do it.
100%. Couldn't agree more.
Sorry.
Eventually, went on a bit of a rant there, Steve.
No, it was just a detour, wasn't it? It was not a rant as such, because it's, again, like, I like people. I'm not trying to discourage people either, but I'm like, this stuff, man.
It drives you crazy.
It doesn't drive me crazy. I'm just like, it's not the same as what they think. I'm like, until you've actually broken a record and those things, then it's different from what you think. It's not that you're wrong, it's just that you've not experienced that whole thing yet of cutting the weight for it, the pressure of everybody watching you. Because, you know, man, especially in an overhead event, like, when you go at an event one and it's overhead, and you've done this in the gym, blah, 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 and you clean, like, when I went over to the Pro Strongman League qualifier in America, which I ended up scraping qualification for, but it was not, like, as comfortable as I would have liked it to be. I was going out, and the guys didn't know me there, so they were like, oh, like, they'd seen videos of me winning Scotland's Strongest Man under 90, and they'd seen what videos of me doing a 200 kilo stone. I got drew out to go at first, randomly, to go at first on the overhead, my worst event, and guys were like, oh, you got it, and like, you're going to smash it, and you set a standard, and I'm like, and then, but I actually PB'd in the warm-up area, which was like just above the second bar weight. In the ladder and the axle, and then I failed the second bar.
Oh fuck!
In the thing, because
was it nerves?
Yeah, this is what I was getting at. Like, in an overhead, people were like, oh, I'm broken the record, I'm in my gym, blah blah blah. I'm like, you clean that log or the axle in my case, and I was like, I can't use my legs. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's not like it was my first comp either. But I flew over to America, I'd cut weight. I was nervous, people were telling me I was going to be great, and I'm like, overhead, come on, man. You've definitely not.
You don't know me.
Like, but like, that's the thing. I'm not having a go at these guys, I'm just like asking them to have maybe not be disrespectful to people that have just brought their record back, saying that you can do more. And until you, just go do it, man, because you'll get so much more respect by turning up and smashing it than you will by not being there and then seeing it online.
100%. Who's felt hard? Again, max distance, heavy as shit. We had the same Husfelds that were used at UK's 2 years ago, the green ones we have in Ireland. We've looked at the data and it was like, we can definitely work here because there was a lot of distance done. So I think they're nice Husfelds anyway. They seem comfortable.
I'm excited to see Willow doing it. She put the biggest distance up a couple of years ago.
So it's going to be a lot heavier.
She's
for her
obviously
this year.
up a weight class and it's heavier. So that'll be heavier, but I still think that she'll be up there. If Becca Woggin's back and fit, which I think she will be, she's always good on a carry for distance. I think she finished ahead of Sandra Bradley at the Europes that I was talking about, but I was like really impressed with Sandra Bradley. Becca Woggin will be exciting to watch. Matt Neese, always good on that kind of thing.
Kyle Scott as well.
Kyle Scott and Andrew Keys. Anything for distance, Andrew Keys. But
does he always win something for distance?
Well, Matt Neese, Andrew Keys was in that 2 years ago when Matt Neese beat him at it, at that exact event. So, I think that the under 80s will be exciting to watch. And then there's a few people for other categories I would like to see.
No, it's going to be good. It's exciting. Like at this point, you're going to have done heavy log, a really heavy frame. Really heavy Husfeldt for max distance, and then we finish the day on a power stairs. It's quite grueling.
That's pretty grueling.
It's pretty fucking grueling, That's going to be tough. And they're not light.
No, they're not.
Power stairs aren't light. So, it's, I don't know, think about how heavy this thing is. So, this has ruined my day, Andy Taylor. Andy Taylor in the comments, this has ruined my day. Power stairs. I think this is going to separate the men from the boys and the women from the girls.
Absolutely. It'll be good. I don't like my predictions in that because I've just not seen enough of the guys doing it.
I haven't a clue. I have no idea. You have to assume good deadlifters are going to be good at this, maybe. Tall people are going to be good at it.
So, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay.
Obviously, it doesn't pay to be a midget. But think about this, right? If I'm trying to lift something which is a set height and I have these long arms, and I pick that up onto there, yeah, imagine my arms are 2 inches shorter. When I pick that up, it's much easier to go over that. So I think it is
shorter
more
arms.
of your individual ratio thing than it is a height thing.
That's a good point.
I think having short arms in proportion to your body is good.
Generally speaking, though, a taller person is going to get more clearance
If
off
you're
the
quite
ground.
tall and you've got short arms, for your relative
then
to
you're
your
going to
body,
be flying.
do you know who's really good at it? Not in the tested scene, unfortunately, but in the untested scene, Mark Cummins.
Okay.
Who's not a short guy, not massively tall, but he is relatively tall. He's not short for an under 90, but has relatively short arms for his height.
Okay. That's it.
So,
I never actually thought of it that way, which is a serious advantage.
It annoys me when people say it's just a tallest person event, because I think it's an easy thing to say when you've never done it.
Okay.
I'm tall and I've got long arms and I find it quite hard. And I'm naturally a decent enough raw deadlifter.
You are, in fairness,
So yeah, although the only time I did do it, like, there was other stuff going on, so yeah. But I don't think
OSG?
Yeah. I think it's I think there's a lot to take into consideration.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say, is it's not just a tall person, but there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it. Having a strong back would help.
You okay with that one out?
Yeah. No, but there's loads of things, because I guess what I'm trying to say is I've seen a lot of people posting saying, "Oh, it's a tall person's event," and they've never done the event.
Yeah.
So until you've done the event, do you know what I mean? There's no such thing as a tall or short person's event.
Well, let's see what happens at World, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like you could say the log ladder's a short arms person's event, but if you've got weak triceps, then you're still not going to be great at it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think at the end of that day, people are going to be pretty fucking fried.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be tough, and they're going to wake up the next morning and go into a heavy Kratos bar deadlift reps.
Which is cool, man.
It's cool,
Which is cool.
So if anyone hasn't seen Steve put in his stories yesterday, I'll have to accept a collab on this. If anyone hasn't seen Steve put up in the stories yesterday about the Kratos bar deadlift, he was testing it, and we put 5 20 kilo bumpers either side, and then we're going to go calibrate it on the outside for the heavier classes.
Yep.
And it's going to give like ultimate whip. So if you're looking at the weights going, this is really heavy, it's going to there's going to be an awful lot of whip in that bar. So it's going to help with that getting off the ground kind of thing. Getting momentum moving. So I think looking at it, the weights are fine based on it.
I think
they're good.
Awesome. I think it's hard, but I think it's, especially by doing those events still, then finishing on power stairs and then going straight into that the next morning with not a lot of rest. Like, I think it's going to be hard enough for everybody. But not a reach for too many people. There may be one or two who are not great deadlifters who might zero it, but
they can make up with it with 7 other events.
Class. Yeah, exactly. But we can't make it too light, man.
No.
It's Worlds at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I did say that if this turns out too heavy and everyone's giving out, it's on me.
That's on you.
It's on me. I wanted it heavy.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah. But again, like 105s, imagine 3 guys, we're going to have 3 bars. Imagine 3 guys with 300 slapping out reps.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Which you could get considering that there was. We actually got a comment on it being like, oh, is there any natty 105s who can even lift 300?
Loads of them.
And I was like, at UK is like, I think Andrew Goodlad did like 8 reps.
Something like
there
that.
Was a couple did like 5 and 6.
Yeah.
I think more than a couple actually. I think there was 4 or 5 guys who hit 5+.
Yeah.
So yes.
Well, I think a lot of guys who are in the 280, 290 range will be able to pull 300 on the setup.
Yeah, I think they just need to get used to it. Like,
we'll
I found it. I practiced it the other day, and it was like, pulling you a wee bit because it's.
If you're not like, I suppose, a really, really, really strong deadlifter, I would definitely suggest you go get a feel of this bar a couple of times.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And don't just think it's another bar. It's like a deadlift bar.
If you are looking to get a feel of it, gym-based athlete in Edinburgh has a Kratos spa and do day passes. So
they'll also have the timber frame.
We will also have it. That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here collecting the timber
I'm not
frame.
here for this podcast. I'm here to get a timber frame. So anybody on the mainland, come to gym-based athlete. The day passes right now are only £10. Now that we've got that timber frame, they might go up to 25. But come anyway.
You've got a replica of my house fell as well, don't you?
We've got his fell. We got it made to the exact specifications as yours for UK's a couple of years ago. So
You have £30.
We have a bag throw frame.
Yeah, and all the bags.
Yeah, we have
Jesus, £50 day passes,
probably
I think, Steve.
more throwing sandbags than any gym in the world.
You have a lot of them.
So yeah, come as you be, man.
Cool. Right, that's our, we'll have to clip that and send it to you, and that's your advertisement now for GBA Strongman. Yeah, so that's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy, really, isn't it? That's kind of it.
And it's cool. It's just got to be cool to watch. Like you seen when I was doing it on the thing with the bumpers going like that, it looks a bit like the tyres. Like it looks cool. Like I like it.
I think for the women only, we can just go bumpers all the way. We don't have to push.
I think so,
210. We should be able to. So I think again.
We could. Definitely.
It's going to be a spectacle, like.
Yeah, it's got to be good to watch. You watch that 2 or 3 at a time with some good. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, the 105's doing 300, but. Do you know what I mean? The women's opens is 210 as well. Yeah. And you know, you'll see like say Aisha, Roslyn, Anna repping that.
Aisha got 8 at 200 on a power bar. Anna got 6. Ros got 4. Is that right?
I think so.
Like they're all massive reps. So it'd be really cool to see this now happening.
Yep.
Bar oscillating up and down. I'm excited for it. Very excited. Event 6 then. Your posterior is completely fried from the last 2 days. And bag toss.
Yeah.
I think bag toss, what's nice about it is it's not that taxing of an event.
I think with 8 events, like having a bag throw in there is really good. Like it's not a break because it's still an explosive thing, and it's still explosive, and it still requires a lot of skill and a lot of coordination and that rate of force development. But it's not going to hammer you the same way that the Kratos is before it, for example. So your central nervous system won't be any worse off than it was after the Kratos, and I dare say. After that, your central nervous system will be in a better position going into event 7 than it was when it was going into event 6.
So I love the bag toss, as I think it's just a really good spectacle as well. It's really good to watch. Really enjoy it. Like all of these events.
I love it. I love watching it. And again, similar to what I predicted would happen with the dumbbell, and it did happen. And in your case, I think it's going to be something that starts flipping points. And if you are not good at bag throws, and your go-to is to be like, this isn't a real test of strength, like this is not a good event, then
it is a real test of. It's a real test of power.
Is rate of force development, like I say is. But if that is your go-to, then you're shit, and you need to get better.
And the thing is, with a bag toss, you can train it 4 days a week.
Yeah, if you're not.
I like have our people warming up on it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good warm-up as well, man.
You can warm up before deadlift.
Yeah, it's a good warm-up, and
it gets fast twitch muscle firing.
It's summer. Like, there's no excuse, like, unless you're ginger and you kind of go outside, like, get it down, like,
you can do it there, it's high enough. But no, seriously, and it's, I'm not going to say it's easy to get better at it, but you can do it a lot. Anything you can do a lot, you can make gains on.
And it is a skill thing as well.
Absolutely.
Especially with the runs as well. Something that I noticed, like, at last year's comp at Worlds was, like, you could spot the people who were in my gym, and you could spot the people who were trained by Josh Lancaster as well. Because not that they weren't good throwers across the board, but the transitions were all good. It was like boom, 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 boom. You've seen a lot of people like boom, throwing it, clearing it miles, and they're like this. Watching it going over, losing 2 seconds, and then going in and grabbing the other one, and it just looked a bit.
I always tell people not to look back, just go to the next one, just throw it.
I think especially, so if I've got to run a 5 bags, I actually posted a video with me and Will doing it head-to-head the other day, I don't know if you've seen it, but if I've got to run a 5 bags and I know that the first 3 I could hit with my eyes closed in my sleep, I'm like, not even fully extending, I'm finishing like my hands just above my head, because I'm already reaching in for the next one. And then maybe on the 4th one, I'm like giving it a wee bit more back so I can get my hands up, but I'm still not looking back. And then on that 5th one, I'm like proper technique, if you want to call it that.
With full extension and everything.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Big Z years ago on a keg toss at Worlds. One keg was still in the air, hadn't landed yet, and the other was gone.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what, if you can do that with the first few light bags, if you're very confident in your technique and everything.
Yeah, if you're confident, if you're not confident, if you're like 50-50, you get the last bag, still try and go for a fast 4 and then take your time and get a 5th.
Yeah.
But if you're confident, you need to drill those transitions, or else you're going to lose points, and it could be the difference between you winning and not winning, or podium and not podium.
100%.
Arguably the biggest comp that you'll do.
Yeah.
Which is exciting that we can actually say that, and it's true.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
The way it's going, man, it's like.
I think.
Could be the pinnacle.
This year is massive for Natural Strongman Worlds. Like. Again, like I think, I'm not sure if I said it earlier, but there's 3 people confirmed, already paid their entry from Australia this morning. Camilla hasn't, she's definitely coming, so that's 4, and I think there's going to be more. American qualifiers haven't happened yet. We're going to the Netherlands next weekend. The Swiss invites only went out this morning. And Canadian only went out this morning. So like, I'm sure we're going to get some from that French girl in the 82 this morning. It's like, to say it's a worldwide event is really true. Like, you know, it's we've gotten every corner of the world now.
Yeah, it really is. So last year we never had Australia.
No. We had Canada.
Yeah.
So we had North America representation there, but yeah, it's it's really expanding into a humongous thing. So where are we going to be next year? Like,
Yeah, I know.
it's class.
I'm retire.
We've
done. We've achieved it all.
Yeah. Who wants it after this? It's stressful as shit.
Just close it down. People can start doing way again. Yeah. So yeah, do you want to go into event 7?
Yeah. Let's just do it. We don't have weights done yet. We're probably going to talk about that later.
Contested. Much debate in the group chat with me, you and Luke. Over this event. I like it. I like it more than Luke likes it.
Yeah.
And less than you like it.
Yeah.
But I do like
I
it.
really I'm picturing the arena, right? And the way I have it set up. And like you'd imagine that's the tiered seating.
Yeah.
So I think it's 250 people can sit in that tier. I want the yokes going out, coming back in, and then you go in. So for anyone that doesn't know, actually, that hasn't listened to the other podcast, we're doing a yoke into an axle press. Because we did mention in the last one, it's some kind of overhead, but it's an axle. So we're going to go 10 metres out with the yoke, 10 metres back, and then into an axle press facing the tiered seating. Now, if that's full, which I'm hoping it will be, and people are going nuts and excited, that's going to be really exciting for the athletes to come out of they'll drop that axle, they'll scream at the crowd. I think if there's spectators there that aren't strongmen and there's wagon wheels on an axle, it's going to look way better than a dumbbell. I know you wanted a dumbbell, but I just think it's going to look much more of a spectacle for the videographers, the photographers, for the athletes.
I just loved the dumbbell. I wanted the dumbbell because I loved that event. I loved watching it. It was exciting. People were making mistakes, which I like. It's like who's got the balls on the day and the nerve, and who's trained it and who's went out of the way. Because you people are, oh, you put the thing in and I've not got the access to it. I'm like, get access to it then, man. You're competing in a sport at the highest level. If you're not going and travelling or else buying yourself something to get. I know that there's financial difficulties for some people and barriers.
But just travel.
But yeah, man, if you're not doing it, then that's on you.
Like whatever about like in Ireland, fucking public transport shit.
Yeah.
But in the UK, man, it seems like it's unbelievable. You can get anywhere.
I can go to
reason.
like a lot of good strongman gyms that are in North England in a couple of hours, like on the train, and then get my work done on the way, or I can drive in like 3.5.
Yeah. I think people just need to travel. I think that's not good enough for me.
But I like the dumbbell because of that element, and because I think it's like old school strongman-y. So I was thinking for Worlds it would be cool to have a log and have a dumbbell, the circus dumbbell, as opposed to an axle, which for me is a fat barbell that injures people's wrists. And there's just been so much axle this year that I was like, no axle again. But I get what you're saying with the wheels on.
It's the spectacle is what I'm trying to.
And I do always appreciate a good spectacle in these things.
I think for me as well, I'm trying to get more regular people to look at this and go, wow.
Yeah.
I think like we look at even a 42 kilo dumbbell and go, the circus dumbbells and go, holy shit.
Yeah.
The size of that thing. But I don't know if the general population will appreciate that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I wanted to.
Up away as
that's kind of for me why I wanted the axle in there, because it just looks more impressive from a distance and all that.
Yep.
So weights we have no idea yet.
I think we kind of agreed on like we're not going to make either overly heavy. Because we don't want somebody who's good at axle to not be able to complete the yoke, and we don't want somebody who's
it's kind of a moderate weight.
Yoke to then zero the axle. There'll still be the chance of that because you can still make mistakes, but a moderate weight, that's the best
moderate
way to say it,
That's what we're thinking.
So
we haven't actually spoke about with the axle. Do we just go one rep or do we go a couple of reps?
I think one.
I think one rep is cool as well. Yeah.
I think one rep would be cool. I think 10 meters and 10 meters on. Is it 10 meters and 10 on there?
10 out, 10 back in, and walking straight into you.
If you can get that, something that's got to take 10, 12 seconds, then the axle's heavy enough that if you don't get it first time, that you could lose some points there, but not too heavy that you win the yoke and then zero it. Unless you're.
It'll be relatively tough to get the balance here, but we'll get something done as best we can, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes on the day.
Yeah. And then that's all we'll talk about just now, because I think we need to talk about event 8.
Yeah.
We're not confirmed yet.
It's not confirmed. So we can't really go any further, can we?
7's good for now.
7 is good for now.
We'll
and
probably
the 8th
do
event.
another video closer to the time when we've got all the sign-ups in and we know exactly who's doing it. We can do that as well, so we can talk about the events again. Yeah. And go in event 8. Yeah.
Anything else we want to touch on?
I don't think so, man.
No. I think that's it. Just very excited for Worlds.
Yeah.
Lads, if you are seeing posts popping up for Worlds, even the online qualifier, and you're watching this, make sure you're sharing it as well.
Yeah, share them.
Like the more traction we can get, the better, because the more this thing will grow.
Yep.
And just we want Natural Strongman to be bigger and better, more competitors next year. We've seen the explosion of like the categories in UK's and Ireland's this year. Let's push that into Worlds now and further into next year.
Which I think we're already on track to, so we just need to keep on top of it. And any help we can get, any shares and stuff we can get would be appreciated.
Absolutely.
One small thing we could talk about is we will do our record breakers after Worlds.
Yes.
I know that a lot of people have posted it, and I've been not critical, but been like, you're going to get your chance, basically. To do record breakers. We will do that. Another thing that we've spoke about is doing a team comp, which would be UK only, unfortunately. Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales. One person for each weight category. Or maybe not exactly, because we don't have a counter to the 57s yet, but so we'll need to figure something out in that sense. But so it could be like an 8-person team
if that
comp.
goes really well in year one, we might introduce like Switzerland qualifier, people that don't Swiss qualifier, people that don't.
Like a European team maybe, or something like that.
So that's something we can definitely
but
look at.
But something that we're looking to do later on this year. So
there's going to be more comps is the big thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. More value for their memberships and stuff as well. Cool.
So exciting times ahead, guys. If you are watching this and enjoy it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment and all that stuff and share it out.
Share it. Keep it going. The more people we can get on that YouTube, the more we can get on the live stream for Worlds as well. So all good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.